Welcome home, my leadership friends. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, which means tonight, half of America is Googling how long to cook the turkey, right? And while the other half is praying that Uncle Roy doesn't bring up pie. Here's the hook. What if the very first Thanksgiving wasn't just a meal? It was the greatest leadership collaboration in American history. And what if you could steal its playbook? For your team, for your family, stick with me for the next 9 minutes. We're turning pumpkin pie into a leadership masterclass. Let's roll. Picture this. It's 1621 and you're a pilgrim. You just crossed the ocean on that boat that smelled like regret and old Agnes's socks. Half your friends are gone. There's no Uber Eats, and winter is basically a horror movie. Across the woods, the Wampanoag. They've lost 90% of their people to disease. Rival tribes are circling. Both groups, one bad harvest from game over. Then something wild happens. They don't fight, they collaborate. Something I need to work on. The Wampanoag teach the pilgrims how to plant corn with fish. Genius fertilization for the time. How to fish waters that don't come with a manual. How to read the land like a local. The pilgrims, they bring guns, trade, goods, and a promise. We've got your back. Two cultures, zero common, one mission. Don't die. That, friends, is leadership stripped naked. No PowerPoint, just survival. No KPIs, just survival and synergy. Also, fun fact, the 3-day feast had lobster, seal, and swan. So if you want to make your Thanksgiving authentic, bring a swan. I don't think it's kosher to kill a swan, so don't do that. But anyway, collaboration is the superpower. So what made it work? 4 things. And you can steal it today. The 4 things are shared purpose, humility, relationship before rules, and win-win deals. This is 1621, and we can't judge them by what we know now, but they are trying to survive. But guess what? Most businesses and organizations may not survive the holiday seasons very well. They could benefit from this. And some businesses, they actually will fail this holiday season or shortly thereafter. The shared purpose of survival is often important, more important than ego. And when the mission is bigger than drama, collaboration isn't optional. It's like oxygen, right? It's a leadership hack. Before your next meeting, ask, what's the one thing we're fighting for, not against? Humility on steroids is what the pilgrims had. They didn't flex. They asked, said, teach us. John Maxwell says leaders are learners. Stop learning and then you will stop leading. So your move now, right? Who on your team knows something you don't? Buy them a coffee. Be quiet. Listen and take notes. The third one, relationships before rules. Treaty. Months of shared meals, wins, and trust. It wasn't just one Thanksgiving meal. Bible drop. As far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. That's Romans 12:18. Translation. Send the let's align text before the contract. And when you do the contract, number 4, win-win deals. The pact. No violence, mutual defense, open trade. No one got colonized at the table. Ask yourself, is this deal good if roles are reversed? If your family group chat is negotiating who brings that dish tomorrow, you or someone else, send them this episode. Maybe it'll help. Let's switch gears to upgrade to now is if we rebooted from 1621, 3 non-negotiables would be honor sovereignty of the indigenous nations. They aren't any different than us. They're governments with law, language. That's how we would treat it today. The leadership flex is stop acting like every problem is yours to fix. Ask, how can we walk beside each other? And then ditch the paternalistic. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care is one of the things my mentor says. Paternalism, do it because I said so, that doesn't speak to collaboration very well. Collaboration is, let's build this together. So the pro tip is, if your rules come from your parents, question them, right? And then today we'd also use trauma-informed leadership. History left scars. Don't bulldoze the pain, but that was 400 years ago. Listen first, heal second, collaborate third. Also, both groups had slavery back then. We don't judge 1621 with 2025 lessons, but we do learn. The goal, don't repeat bad stuff. That's why history is so important. Notice history, and then we do better. Gobble, gobble, back to the Thanksgiving thing and your superpower. You don't need a cape. You do need a table, perhaps tomorrow. You are the collaboration CEO of the kid who only eats mac and cheese. The cousin who's live tweeting, the game, Aunt Madge's cranberry concrete, God rest her soul. Even dysfunctional families pull it off when the mission is clear. Dinner on the table before the kickoff, or in my case, we want to have dinner early enough so that some of our younger folks can drive home and work Friday. If that crew can collaborate for Thanksgiving, you have no excuse, right, to be able to collaborate later in the year too. So, true story, my cousin Julie always brought a dirty joke that made Grandpa choke on his dentures. Actually, my granddad he didn't have dentures. He was a biologist, and he brushed his teeth religiously and died with good teeth. Unfortunately, we didn't know enough about hearts. He left us in his 80s. He might have lived to 100 today. But anyway, he brushed his teeth regularly, and he chuckled in his plate. He had kind of a laugh that he did in his plate when every year when cousin Julie told the joke, and some of his pleasure was getting my Uncle Bob to turn a shade of red when his daughter said the joke that made us all laugh. But anyway, humor is collaboration glue. That's why I bring that up. What's your best Thanksgiving joke? Drop it in the comments. I'd like to steal it, at least the clean ones. But when I think about Jesus and Maxwell and collaboration hacks, Jesus dropped 3 collabs that we still use, right? Servant leadership. You want to be great? You serve. Serve tomorrow. Refill somebody's glass before they ask. 2, peacemaking. Blessed are the peacemakers. Leaders don't dodge conflict. They transform it. Yes, even when your Uncle Roy says the election was rigged by the big pumpkin, try and collaborate with them. And then be present. The ministry of presence. Jesus showed up and listened and ate. And think about it, in person versus Zoom kisses. Tomorrow you have an opportunity for real in-person hugs, not just over the Zoom or text message. Give somebody a hug tomorrow. Put the phone down. Eye contact is also collaboration currency, and you can't do that looking at your phone. John Maxwell's law of connection. Touch a heart before you ask for a hand. Send the "I'm thankful for you" text tonight. If you send that text, watch what happens. Here's some collaboration questions and 3 buckets. Pick one. Change everything. Table talk. Here's some safe ones. What's one thing that someone taught you this year that made life better? Question 2. Who collaborated with you in 2025? What did you accomplish or build? 3. What's one thing you appreciate about someone here? 4. If we tackled one family project next year, what would it be? Workplace Monday meeting questions. 1. Where did we nail collaboration this year? 2. Where did we drop the ball and how do we catch it in 2026? And 3. What's the win-win culture look like for us? In terms of personal growth, 1. Where do I need pilgrim level humility? 2. Who can I learn from like a Massasoit? 3. What relationship needs a repair text before New Year's? Question 3. At the table, may cause tears, have tissues, and lots of pie. Here's the truth. 2026 won't be your best year because you're smarter. It'll be your best year because you're connected and collaborating. Collaboration isn't a soft skill. It's a force multiplier. I hope it's my personal growth edge this year. Yep, even I've got to work on it, and I know it. So tomorrow, lead the table, listen like a pilgrim, serve like Jesus, build like it's 1621, and survival is on the line because the culture of our shared leadership, it starts with mashed potatoes tomorrow and ends with a legacy, hopefully pumpkin pie and pecan pie too. Anyway, Thanksgiving, collaboration, and the future of our shared leadership. Thanks for listening and bless your week.